This feels like a nice fish.
Boy, I'm in too, Andy.
All right, well, you know, we got over that little piece of bottom. We marked some bait on the fish finder, and sure enough, as soon as we got over it, there were fish on. How's that feel, Rich?
It feels good. I don't know if it's, I'm looking at the bend and
I'm gonna need the net, guys.
Fishing the same
I got
rods.
a nice fish here, guys. Bob, really good fish.
Oh, this one ain't too bad either.
Here we go.
Yeah, take Andy's first.
Watching Northeast Angling. We're proud to present inshore and offshore saltwater fishing. We cover every species from fluke and porgies to stripers, sharks, and tuna. You can learn more about techniques, tackle, and destinations at neangling.com. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Our guest today is Bob Rochetta. Bob is a licensed captain here in Orient Point, about 30 years experience, runs a boat called the Rainbow.
And it's mid-May. We're going to be doing a little fluke fishing here. We're going to be working a lot of the little bays and cuts that are all around the North Fork of Long Island.
Bob, what do you got in store for us today?
Well, right now we're in South Hole Bay, commonly known as the area of the Green Lawns off Shelter Island, well known for its big doormat fluke, and I'm sure we'll get some. Just a matter of time as this tide starts to move. And we present our lures correctly. We don't have any grass on them. We'll do just fine.
Yeah, we're holding the bottom here with about 4 ounces of weight. We've got all our hooks tipped with spearing, and hopefully we can get some nice action here.
Got one there, Bobby?
Yep, nice fish.
Yeah, got it going on. I'm gonna put this down. You want to pass me that net? Where's that net?
No, I'll get that net. As he starts working that up, I'm gonna take a quick run there. I'm on the end here.
All right. Take my time with him. I don't want to.
I just had a bite also. That's
yeah.
a decent fish. Yeah. You might want to grab that net.
Yeah, when we get to put my rod in the holder here, give him a hand there.
They'll hit a dead stick.
Sure. You know, Bob, I noticed we're seeing a lot of different sized fish come up here. Is that typical, or?
Yep. There's all mixed size schools. Oh, Bimini release, guys.
Hey, the good news is I got your bucktail.
Well, thank you.
Here's one.
Here's one here. Don't go far.
You know, Bob, I took your advice. I started working a fish, the bucktail on that last fish.
Did you?
Yeah, and he seemed like he jumped right on it.
Well,
not a very big fish, but he definitely seemed like he was aggressive.
Yep.
It doesn't look like you're going to be needing a net on that one, Rich.
Actually, I winged him. I got him right in the side. Fun fish.
You know,
but I'll tell you, he's aggressive. Very aggressive, that last fish.
One of the things I do, guys, you might want to take a look at this, is with the little bit of grass we have in here now, take a spearing and run it through the back of the spearing right towards his face and keep him on the hook. This way the grass won't catch on the barb of the hook.
So you're covering the barb of the hook
I got you.
with the fish.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, the grass will slide off the fish and he won't catch the barb of the hook.
Well, you know, all this stuff is important, Bob, because obviously you want to increase your chances of catching these fish, and if that's a tip that's going to help you catch fish, it's something that should be noted.
Hey, if you get grass on there, you could drift a half a mile. The fish might not bite it.
Yeah, and when it's that light, you might not even feel it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's also a good idea every now and then, periodically, bring your jig up, check your spearing, make sure it's clean, and drop it back again.
I agree. And you know, again, with the braided lines, you can almost feel when you're spearing her off the hook.
Yeah.
I mean, people will think you're crazy, but you can tell your bucktail becomes a lot lighter when you knock that spearing off the hook. And it sounds silly, but you can feel it. If you stay in tune with your bucktail and you know what the constant weight is when you're jigging a spearing, if you knock one off or if a fluke knocks one off, you'll feel that bucktail get lighter.
Yeah, and on the same token, you can also feel when you pick up a little grass.
Yep, most definitely.
You know, we like the braided lines because a lot of times we're going to be fishing different depths here. Bob, what kind of depths are we going to be seeing today?
Well, you got water in here that varies from 25, 30 feet right down to 60.
Really?
Yep, and we'll get most of those fish on the backs of those banks as the bait's tumbling down.
They lay up on them slopes, right?
Yeah, they love their predator. They love to get behind a high spot and feed.
Oh, Bob, I do a lot of fishing, fluke fishing to the west in the Sound also, and there we key on a lot of structure. Do you do the same thing here? I noticed them big fluke, we know big fluke, how lazy they are. And instead of sometimes chasing that small shrimp and sand eels around, they'll look to ambush maybe a blackfish or a porgy or something like that. Do you key on structure here too?
Well, all the time. All types of fishing demand certain attention.
Hey, there you go, Andy.
There you go. Come on, Rick.
It's
You can't let 'em
a
out
little
fish,
better
Russ.
fish than
What
what
were
we've
you
been
saying
seeing,
there?
at least feels like it.
All species of fish go towards particular structures. You know, and it's all based upon food, their feeding habits.
Andy, let me know if you want an net for
Nah,
that
he
fish.
felt good in the beginning, but he's not a very big fish.
Okay, you got him?
Yeah,
Keep
let's
it,
bring
but
him
throw
over
them back. We'll do better than that.
Yeah, well, we're throwing most of our fish, not all of them, back today.
Well, let's have a couple for dinner.
These are very tasty fish. What'd you do to hook that fish up? I saw you had a little touch there as soon as you got down.
Actually, I missed him the first time, and I dropped the bucktail back, and I just kept him moving real slow, and he came right back to me.
There you go, Andy just did it. Oh, Andy got a
No, I'm
bluefish.
afraid I had a little bluefish on there, guys. I was dropping my rig down.
Well, this is
And he got hit
definitely
on
a
the way
fluke,
down.
and I probably could use a net for this one. It's a nice fish, guys.
Okay, I got it. I'll get the net.
Whoa,
Bob.
look at him. He just spit up a bunch. It looks like spearing he just spit up.
Yep, that's what it is, white bait.
Now you want to keep this fish's head under the surface, wait for the net. And I can see I got this fish thinly hooked. Andy, come on my other side.
I'm going to swing the net around
All
here,
right, I'm going
Rich.
to try to lead him into you.
There we go.
Very thinly hooked.
And when you bring these fish up, you lift the net straight up and down.
And in the
And there
boat.
we go. Nice fish.
Thanks, buddy.
Let's get that out of there.
Let me grab that bucktail. And again, you got to watch taking these fish off the hook, too. You got to be very careful. These fish have some very sharp teeth. Right, Bob?
No, I know. I've got cut from them. Sometimes they get a little sloppy, and they cut you. They won't make a deep cut, but they'll definitely cut you.
That's a good looking fish.
Yeah, send
nice
that guy
fish.
back and see if we get us another one.
I'm going to let him slip right off
Yeah,
the gun. We'll
slide
let him
him
back in. There you go. See you later, buddy. I tell you, I love fluking. It's just, you know, you know what it is? You're never out of the game, Bob. You're constantly in tune with your bucktail. You're constantly working it, and I'll tell you, it's just a great way to fish.
Yeah, it's beautiful weather here, too. I mean,
Oh, couldn't ask for a better day.
hey, you know what's nice about fluking, too? It's in these bays, a lot of good family fishing. You can take the kids out. People that are a little squeamish don't get sick.
Yeah, that's a great point, Bob. You know, you're right about that. I mean, most of the fluke fishing we do, especially around the island, is generally in the protected areas, which, you know, it's a nice thing. It's not like you're going to watch your days where you're going to get beat up offshore or anything like that. You can pretty much fish almost 7 days a week for these fish, right, Bob?
Well, especially here in North Fork, we got all these islands. I mean, it could be blowing. It was blowing a gale 2 days ago. We were out here because it was from the east. It protected us. It was like this 2 days ago in 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Fully protected.
Yeah, once you get in here, it's fine.
Visit the Northeast Angling website at neangling.com for nationwide saltwater charter directory, fishing news, and free fishing reports. You can also find dozens of techniques, tips, and tackle for every saltwater species. Now let's get back to the action.
You know, we just made the move here, Bobby. You said the current slacked off at that last spot.
Right.
So we moved into a little bit more current. We're in Orient Point. Bob Rashetta. Bob, you got something playing with you there?
Oh,
Yeah.
there you
Hey,
go.
there you go, Bobby.
There you go.
Once again, that nice slow lift. You felt some weight, and boom, fish on.
And a nice slow retrieve. Let the drag work.
That's one thing that's very important. You really, it's an old saying with fluke, the first one to the top don't win. You want to just take your time and keep steady pressure on the fish and get them to the surface. One net for that fish, Bob? Oh, that's
On
not
the
a bad
ball,
fish.
guys. On the ball.
Yeah, got it on the fluke bullet. Bring it right over here, Will.
Here you go, Andy. Why don't you get that one?
Here we go.
Leave it right into the net. There you
we
go.
go.
Good job, Bobby.
All yours.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was nice, Bob. You called that perfect. You said, you know, like we just said, there's a little bit more current on this end, so we pulled over, we moved over into here, and well, we weren't here, what, 2 minutes, and you got that fish right on.
Well, let's get some more.
We're working on it, that's for sure. Not for lack of effort.
Nah, you guys are doing just fine.
You know, Bob, you notice that you move back and forth to a lot of different spots, you know, tide related. I know you always want that good moving tide, right? So
Exactly.
you jump around quite a bit when you're fishing here?
Yeah, we follow the tides, you know, and then if the tide isn't working out, you have to kick the boat a little bit to make it move.
So you keep like power drift?
Yeah,
It's a nice fish.
Nice looking fish.
we'll take this one. That's a dinner fish.
There you go.
Oh, this feels like a nice fish.
Boy, I'm in too, Andy.
All right, well, you know, we got over that little piece of bottom. We marked some bait on the fish finder, and sure enough, as soon as we got over it, there were fish on. How's that feel, Rich?
It feels good. I don't know if it's, I'm looking at the bend and we're
I'm
fishing.
gonna need the net, guys.
Fishing the same
I got a
rods.
nice fish here, guys. Bob? Really good fish.
Oh, this one ain't too bad either.
Here we go.
Yeah, take Andy's first.
Right there, Bob.
Take Andy's first.
And one of the things we like to do is keep the fish's head under the water, keep the line tight. He hit that whole squid on the trailer.
Nice fish, Andy.
All right, here we go.
Got him, Bobby?
Nice.
Want to show us the old double net trick here, Bob? You ready?
Oh, there we go. Nice job.
Look at the cookie cutters. Nice job, Andy. Good job, Bobby.
Nice work.
Bringing us to
Good
the
work.
meat. Thank you, sir.
All right, let's
Now
see
this
what they
is
look
what
like.
you call fun. Wow. Look at this. Two beautiful fish. Oh, slow down, baby.
Oh, boy.
Slow down. These fish ain't too feisty, are they?
Yeah, they are really
Now
hot.
yours hit the squid,
Yep.
and
They
mine hit the bucktail.
Hit the trailing squid.
And I'm fishing the same rig as you, right?
Yep.
And mine hit the bucktail, yours hit the squid. Now these are two.
Are you telling me your
beautiful
fish is bigger than mine?
Well, you know, you struggled a little bit more with yours, though.
No, I think mine's a little bit bigger.
I don't know.
I think you ought to stop baloney throwing and get back in the water.
Good point, Bobby.
Good job. Let's drop these in here.
We'll put this one in the well. That's a nice looking
Yeah.
fish right there.
And I got this one's gonna take a little bit of work. He's got that hook deep in him.
That's what it's all about. Good job, buddy. You know, Bob, we just caught them last two fish on that drift. You brought us right back up to it. And you said these fish are very rarely alone. People don't think so, but they are school fish.
Well, that's common.
Oh, there you go, Bobby.
Oh, nice.
That looks like a better fish, too.
You know, it's amazing sometimes how these fish hold in a lane. You know, they'll be in one particular spot, one patch of bottom. Oh, that fish putting on a good paddle.
Where you going? Taking you under the motor, Bob?
No, I just don't want anything to go away.
Oh, nice.
That looks like a decent fish. Andy, you ready with the net?
Yeah, I got it. You know, one thing about netting these fish, said you got to just lead them into the net, and I'm going to need your help here, Bob.
Oh,
Can you turn them back this other way? Turn them, get away from the motor. There you go. Nice, nice.
He's doubled up. He's fouled in the ball.
Oh, he fouled the other ball. I got him. Nice fish.
Now, Bob, you think he took both hooks? Did he take both hooks?
I don't know.
No, he's got the other one on his side. You got one of them, though.
Because you can tell sometimes they're so aggressive, you'll see they'll eat both baits. Now, he's got a double hook rig on there. Bob, what do you got, a fluke bullet and then a teaser hook on there?
Fluke bullet with the bucktail dot, you know, the rivet,
Okay.
white.
So basically, you feel like if you miss a fish on a bucktail, sometimes that trailer hook will pick them up?
Well, it does a lot of times.
Okay.
Because what happens is the little bucktail it negates the weight of the hook, so it's floating a little higher off the bottom.
Oh, so it keeps it out of the grass.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, this is all very important. I mean, because these are...
Whoa. Is that a de-hooker?
You're the hooker. Get that fish out of there. But these are all very, very good tips, Bob, because, you know, anything that's going to help you catch fish or produce more fish is very important.
Yep.
And, you know, I see that you've got green on that one. You know, we're using the pink, we're using the green. I know we're using the pink because it's a good squid and shrimp-like color. Tell me about the green you got here.
It's a nice fish, Bobby.
That's fluorescent green.
It's a good-looking
It's
fish.
dyed. You know, they dye it. Let me put them in the well first.
Good job, Bob. That was a very nice fish.
Get in there.
And again, Bobby, that was like what, right where we had those previous two? Where Andy and I doubled
I'll
up?
take a look at the machine. I'll let you know in a second, but it's within 30, 40 feet.
I got you. And I noticed that. I always said that one of the hardest fluke to catch is the first fish. You know, you get the first fluke, and generally they're always in that same area that you find the first one.
Yeah, and then you punch them on the GPS, you take a quick range, hopefully maybe there's something in the water like a buoy nearby, and just key on that.
That's important. Bobby, you mentioned that earlier, where if you get a Clorox bottle or a buoy from a bait shop, they sell them now with the lines on them and the sinkers. And if you get a fish like that, you just throw the buoy over and you work around that buoy, because they're very rarely alone.
That's it. You know, years ago, before we had all this fancy electronics, that's the way we did it.
Shore ranges, right?
Yeah, shore ranges.
And that's
still
not a
works.
very tough thing to do. If you align 2 points in one direction and 2 points in another direction, you're going to pretty much always get right on that same spot.
Let me show you something. I seen you picking up a little grass on the hook. Next time you put the ball down, go from under his belly like this and put the hook right up in the
Oh,
top.
there you go, Rich.
Okay, Rich. See that, Andy? It's this way here.
Guys,
That looks like a good
Guys,
fish. I'm
Look at
here.
that.
if I have something fouled, I'll be upset. But let me tell you something.
Give me a rod.
Thank
This
you.
could
It's got
be
some weight
a
on it.
very big fish.
Well, let's take a look.
If
You know,
it's-
Rich, I saw that fish. I popped
It's
that a
fighting
couple
a
of
little
times.
weird. I don't know. I hope I don't have him fouled unless it's just a very big fish. I don't know. But I'll tell you, he hit like a ton of bricks.
Once again, a slow, steady retrieve, no pumping, and we don't want to work the jig out of the fish.
You got that net there, Andy?
All set.
This really feels like a good fish.
You know, and the other nice thing is we're getting all these fish right in the top of their heads, and it's easy to release them one way or the other.
I'm just taking my time with this fish. Nice,
Get a good
steady,
look
and
at this.
slow. If it's a big skate, I'm going to jump in the water out of frustration. But he gave me a couple good head shakes. I think it's oh my God, look at the size of this skate.
It's a really big skate.
You know, I had a feeling. I said, if this is a bit, I'm not going to jump in the water. But hey, let me tell you something. That was almost worth the bite, Bobby.
Yeah, let me do
You want to grab him?
Yeah.
I appreciate that. Look at this thing.
Big skate wings out.
I'll tell you, that's some wingspan there, huh? I want to bring him right to you, Bob.
He's a flyer.
Look at that, huh?
Oh, man.
Here I thought I had the barn door.
Yeah.
The mother of all
You did
Fluke.
have the barn door.
I did. I thought I had the mother of all Fluke, and I pull this thing up. Bobby, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
That's
That's a trophy.
You want to know something?
Look at his back.
Let me see the lips on that thing. Turn that thing around.
Primitive.
Look at this thing. It's almost got like a little smiley face going on.
Yeah.
And they got teeth like a bass. What are you going to do?
Yeah, feel it.
Get out of here, you. I ain't going in there. They got that sandpaper teeth, and that's still. Hey.
You know, they get to be 300 pounds or so.
I know they do.
Here.
I know they do. They got to eat too, right?
Yeah, let's let him go. Another day, lucky day.
He fooled me, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Hey, let's all get back in the water here and get some more of these fish. Maybe we're gonna move up on this piece again.
That's not a bad idea.
Let's go.
All righty. I'll take the boat up, Bob.
Visit the Northeast Angling YouTube channel for hundreds of videos, including full-length episodes, exciting clips, product reviews, and instructional videos. And now, the exciting conclusion of Northeast Angling.
Andy, we just made a little wiggle here. Bobby, you brought us over to this spot. There's a little more current here, you said.
I see we got a little bit of a rip line through here, and there's certainly some bait on the screen.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, nice,
That was
nice.
solid.
That looks like a good fish.
Ooh, it feels like a good fish. Ooh, now that's what you like to see.
You know, it's
Yeah, oh, he's just staying down. That's exactly what you know what, Andy? I'm definitely going to need a net for this fish.
Oh, I got it right here. I actually got one playing with mine, but I got you. It's
just-
very
he's
important to
just
come up
laying
steady
down.
on these fish.
Nice, slow, and steady. Just keep pressure on the fish, keep the rod vertical. Bobby, this was a good call.
Well, hopefully it'll get better.
He's cycling, he's cycling.
Oh, nice
Here he
fish.
comes, here he
That's a
comes.
good fish.
We're going to bring right
Once
out
again,
here.
head first.
There we go.
Right up the
Nice
net.
job, Andy. Nice job.
I got one working
That's a
mine.
good one. Oh, I almost caught the side of the boat with him.
He's still there. You just gave me a little tap. You know, sometimes you got to wait a little bit on these fish.
Yep.
Oh, there he goes.
You in?
Yep, absolutely.
Nice, very nice.
Watch your rod tip.
That's a good looking fish
Okay.
right there. That's a real good looking fish.
Well,
Did
Bob-
Orient, Bobby, a triple.
Well, I couldn't
Oh,
let you
Andy, you want a
guys
net for that
outdo
fish?
me.
Well, actually, you know what? We'll leave that net for Bob. My fish isn't quite as big.
Don't get the gaff for Bob.
You got a good one there? Now this is what it's all about. This is
Oh.
Orient Point fluke fishing.
Come on, baby. Little drag. There you go. There you go.
Whoop. Andy, I want to put him down.
Let's just drop that down. We'll
He's
take care of him in a
flapping. Watch
second.
him.
Little drag out on this guy.
Now, Bob, you're going to lead that fish right into the net for me, right?
What's the pool today?
I don't know. I think you might have it.
Well, I tell you what. I think this is one of the better ones we've seen today.
Now, what you want to do with this fish, Bob, you know as well, obviously you know, is you want to just lead his head directly into the net, steady pressure on the fish. Here he comes. That is a good fish, Bobby.
He's got him right on the bullet. You know,
Jumped on the fluke bullet.
yeah, we're fishing
Whoa,
a
big
bullet
head
here on a
shake.
trailer, but
I'm going to go.
nice, nice.
I'm in.
Good
Good
fish.
Bobby. Good,
All right,
very
good
good
job.
fish.
Very good.
I'm going to back
Come
that
on.
line off. We'll bring him in.
Bring him in.
That's a good looking fish right
Somebody pass me the bait.
there. Bob, you got me hog-tied here. Hold on.
I'm a
All
little
right.
excited. You got to forgive me. Captains don't get to fish that often.
Now that's,
Thanks a lot,
now
guys.
that's what we were looking for.
Yep. Thanks for the help.
Good job, Bobby. That's
Well-
it. Oh, gee, look at this. He just
Fell
drew the,
out, huh?
just drew the hook in the boat.
Into the-
Just drew the hook at
Yep.
the boat. That's
the way
why.
to do it.
Yep. That's why, like you
Teamwork.
said, you keep gentle pressure on these fish. You don't want to horse them around, and you just take them in nice and slow, and that's how you get them, right, Bob?
That's a good
That's
looking
it.
fish.
That's a nice fish right there.
That's a beauty. Let's eat that guy.
You want to put him in a well?
Yeah, man.
You got
kidding?
it. Andy, slide that open, drop him right in. That's a good looking fish. I'll tell you, the one I got, not too bad either. That don't look like a bad fish either.
No,
Look
that's
at
another
this.
fish for the well.
What was the
Oh,
one
man.
I saw swimming away?
It was a legal fish, but I know you told us there are a lot bigger fish here. We're going for the big fish.
You guys
Oh,
don't.
God.
You
I'll
guys
tell
don't
you.
have much mercy on me,
You
do
look at the style. You look at the dimensions of these fish. The way they're sculpted. It's incredible.
Yeah, look how you don't jump out of your hands.
No, I got a firm grip on him. I've held a few fluke in my time, but
Yeah?
thank you. That's, another thing, holding a fish, very important. You always want to grab him from the shoulder, right, Bob? Never from the belly, always from the shoulder. Makes it very important to get a good grip on that fish.
Yeah, especially if you release him, you want to keep your hands away from the gills for the most part.
Well,
this
you know, if
guy's-
you put your finger in
drop
his
him in.
mouth, you'll really have some good contact with a fluke.
You don't make a mistake that he's a bass, I take it, right,
No,
Bob?
no.
I got you. Slide him in a well, and I don't know what I'm sitting
get
here talking
started
to you
again.
guys for. I got a bait up
Come on,
again.
let's get some more.
Well, it looks like this drift has really picked up speed, but we seem to be holding. What are you doing to keep us in the spot?
Well, you know, Andy, since this current picked up a little bit, we're still using them 2-ounce bucktails. What I'm doing is I'm just putting the back of the motor into the tide and just slowing us down a little bit. And it seems we can keep our bucktails straight up and down under the boat just by working the motor back and forth a little bit.
And these bucktails are a lot more effective when worked straight up and down.
Oh yes, most definitely. When you get a bucktail too far away from the boat and you get a lot of scope in your line, a lot of times it'll run to the side. So basically what you want to do is stay right up on top of it, and it makes for a much truer hook set.
And the least amount of line that you have out, obviously the better the hook set, and the better you're able to feel the fish and every individual bite.
Most definitely. It's very important. Obviously, we talked about it before. Bobby touched on it. Staying in contact with your bucktail. And if you can stay straight up and down on it, you're going to notice your hookup ratio is going to be much better.
Yeah, a lot of times we see guys flying along in a wild, fast drift, and they are, in fact, trying to keep their bucktails on the bottom. The only problem is it's just not a good presentation.
You know, at that point in time, they're almost better taking off the bucktail and putting maybe a 6 or an 8-ounce sinker on.
Right. And if you do find a body of fish and you are stemming the way we are right now, you can stay on that body of fish for a lot longer before the tide and the drift take you off of it.
Well, we were talking about that earlier, how they stay tight in tight little groups, and you could almost hold the boat right on top of these fish sometimes.
Yeah, and get a double or triple hookup.
Exactly.
Really take advantage of the fish.
Catch that active body you're feeding the fish. Maybe it's only a 10-yard circle that these fish are laying in. They're on a little bait pod, and sometimes you can just keep that motor right over the top of them.
Yeah, I don't even drop back a lot of times when we're stemming. I get a hit. I'll just keep my bucktail right there, maybe reach back a little bit, try and keep it in the zone. And then if I feel like it's getting out of the zone, I'll drop back to the fish.
See, the other thing I can do with this is if I see somebody drop a fish, or if I know Bobby had a bite and maybe he got off, what I can do is I can pull the boat back a little bit to give him another crack at that fish.
Right.
Where if you were moving too fast, you might not be able to do that.
Yeah, you're just right out of the zone. Fluke bullet on there. I'm working the Spro bucktail. What do you find the advantage to that bullet?
Tide's faster now. I want to be able to be a little bit tighter to the bottom.
See, that extra weight is really keeping you up a little closer. You know,
exactly.
We've had a lot of luck today. We've been using the Spro bucktails and we've been using the bullets. And you know, we've basically caught fish on both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, you got something going on there, Rich?
Yep, there we go. Ooh, guys, this might be the right one.
Oh, nice, nice. You know, I saw that little tap, and next thing you know, you were into that.
You know what, Andy? Like we were talking about this earlier, when you think you got a good fish on, what you want to do is just keep steady pressure on the rod. You don't want to let that fish get too far away from the boat. Just keep it tight, keep the rod vertical. I'm going to need the net for this.
All right, I'm going to get
looks
that.
Like a good,
if you just
this looks
put
like
my
a good
rod
fish.
up there.
I'm just taking them nice and slow. Yeah, this is a good fish, Andy. This is a real good fish.
Oh, yeah, that's solid.
All right, hey, Rick.
That's what we were looking for. That's what we came to Orient for, to see fish like this.
I'm going to turn them. You
You
ready?
know, just got it
Nice
right
and
into that.
easy.
Oh, wait a minute.
There you go.
There we
Good,
go.
go.
Good.
Oh, nice fish.
Now that's an Orient point.
That's a good fish.
That's an Orient point fluke.
Yeah.
Oh, I just missed one.
Did you?
Let's take a look. There you go. Can you got him? Yeah,
Come on.
I got him. Oh, that's a good fish.
Oh, that is a good looking
Get the
fish.
rod out of here.
That is a real good
Come on.
looking fish. That's what we were after.
All right.
Let's take a look at
Bobby.
that. That's a nice
Ah,
fish.
I'll shake your hand too.
Look at that.
That is
Good
a
for
beautiful
you.
fish.
That's a
Bobby,
great
thank
looking
you.
fish.
Welcome.
I tell you, we owe it to you. We had a beautiful trip today. This is what you call Orient point fluking, right?
Very nice.
I'll tell you, we can't
Very
ask
nice
for much
fish.
more than that. You know what? I want to let this fish go.
Yeah, that's good. Somebody else will catch that. It'll be even bigger than that.
That is a beautiful fish, though.
My heart.
Good job, Rich.
That is a beautiful fish. That's what you say, Bob. Solid 7.5 pound fish.
Yeah,
there?
at least.
That's a good looking fish. Well,
I just missed something, too.
I'm gonna slide him away, and we're gonna wave goodbye, and I'm gonna wave goodbye to a great day out in Orient.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thanks a lot. This was a wonderful day.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Anytime.
Thank you for watching Northeast Angling. You can learn more about techniques, tackle, and destinations as seen on this show at neangling.com. See you on the water.